4 voor de prijs van 1? Okay.
Today we are putting in the temporary water connection in our temporary kitchen setup. Luckily, the holes that we are going to make will double as the holes that will eventually contain the underfloor heating pipes. So the plan is to put them in the middle of this wall, and then they can be a little bit offset from the wall as well, so that should make it fairly straightforward. The only thing is that we'll probably want to remove 1 or 2 of the tiles that sit there, just so we don't also have to drill through the tiles themselves. And they need to go eventually anyway. So one of the biggest problems here probably is trying not to get the dust everywhere. So we'll have to see how we best deal with that without having to move everything out just for effectively making a couple of holes. So let's see how it goes.
Here we are again in the car, not the first time today, because we naively thought we would quickly pop to the local DIY store, pick up some things for the water connections. But of course, the most common sizes were all sold out. Maybe we should have expected that, who knows, but another thing we didn't do was properly measure the connections we needed. So we also did that in between. Now we're on our way to the bigger DIY store, which is quite a bit further away, so a bit of a road trip. But we have our measurements, so hopefully we can now get everything we need.
Let's hope so. Yay! We are all the way back and we have got everything we need. I think we're about 2.5 hours on from when we left, and we've got half an hour to go, which means it will be around 5 o'clock when we're actually back. So I doubt there's any plumbing in our afternoon, but tomorrow at least we'll have everything to get started. So time for a gin and tonic. When we're back, not now. Still driving.
Yes.
Did you have anything to add?
Not really.
Then don't.
Yeah.
Seems that there isn't a lot of glue underneath this, so the hope's a beautiful thing, is that it might not be that hard, not as hard as the wall tiles to remove, but the less dust we make here, the better. So that is 1 tile removed. Only 500 more to go, but not today.
Under. That should do it.
Let's drill.
That was underwhelming. Prepped everything, clothed it up, attempted to cover up everything, and we were done in under 2 minutes. Great.
So this is what it looks like. We can see into the garage. Nice big holes, big enough for the pipes. So
Yeah.
let's go and hook up some water, I guess.
Our water is coming from downstairs, and it is coming from a point very close to our current central heating system, our diesel heater. Because it also is able to do hot water, we have existing hot and cold water pipes coming in here as well. So the plan is to take a cut from these pipes here, then bring them up into the top and into these holes we just made. It is a little bit of a detour, but because it's a temporary setup, we're just using the most accessible connection that we have. Gaby has just turned off the central water valve, so let's see if we are going to run out of water very soon. Yeah, pressure's already dropping. So let's just empty out the water that we have.
Ik kan hem niet verder doen. Dit is het.
Oh, the water is now almost gone, almost gone. Still getting less. Yeah, I think that's it. Last drop's coming out now.
Yay.
So this is where we're splicing it in. The pipes are a bit dirty, so let's try and give them a little bit of a clean. Need a tiny bit of water that we don't have anymore, of course. No water coming out here. Oh, still some water coming from the pipes here, which is actually useful in this case. Means I can clean this a little better. Now it's time to cut off the pipe, the scary bit, because then there's no way back. We have this pipe cutter. It's actually made for copper pipes, but I'm sure it'll do the job here as well. We could saw it off, but if this works, it's a little bit easier. And that looks like it is it.
I think it's now just held together by the clamp.
Yes. Almost. There we go. I think because I used the clamp, I might have pushed it in a little bit. So this inner thing isn't really going into the inside as nicely. Well, so much for easy fit, but it's made it to the end. You can see it from the little holes here. So this is on. It feels like it's not coming off anyway, but it needs a proper clamping. First time using it. Let's see how it goes. It might need adjusting depending on how tight it is. You should be able to see the clamping lines very clearly. I guess we give it a go. See how it turns out. Adjust if necessary. We don't want any leaks, of course. Oh. It felt too easy, but it actually clamps all the way around. So that looks pretty decent, I think. Worst case, we can always clamp it a bit more later on. But as far as I can tell, it's not going anywhere. Okay.
No rush, I'm enjoying it up here.
Okay.
Quick tea
Yeah.
break?
Yes.
Tea break.
Part 2, which is doing the exact same thing, but on the other pipe. Let's go upstairs, hook up the
Taps.
connectors and the taps there as well. Then hopefully we should be able to put the pressure back on and see if we have any leaks or not. Hopefully not.
We haven't, because we haven't started our raised beds yet.
Oh, you. Let's put these connectors on the other end. Then the taps can connect to here. And then the flexible connectors to the actual tap can connect to the shut-off tap. So let's see if this goes any easier. I highly doubt it. Good learning point for when we're doing the proper water install and get better tools for cutting the pipes. Maybe that helps with getting these on as well. Let's make sure we put enough tape on, and then that should seal it up nice and tight. I think I might have gone a little bit overboard on the top because it won't go in that deep. But that's alright, that's no problem.
Zeg het maar.
Okay, let's see if it leaks. Open maar.
Het staat niet op volle kracht, maar gaat water doorheen.
Ja, ik hoor water
Het staat
stromen.
nu volgens... Oké.
Op een goede manier. It's looking surprisingly good. I'm somewhat shocked. We'll have to keep an eye on it, of course, but first signs are that it looks alright, actually. No leaks here. Managed to draw water all the way upstairs. And it looks fine, I think. So I guess we continue then. Hooray!
Yay!
After a few more minutes, it looks like still no leaks. I am shocked. This never happens with water. Now we disconnect the other tap. We disconnect the tap in the kitchen, and then I guess we build a frame.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Right.
That sink is not being held up by anything.
Willpower.
Hopes and dreams. There isn't a lot of space here.
After a few turns, you'll probably, yeah.
Just a bit of water leaking out. That's fine. As long as it leaks out there and not out of here. Oh, just needed a gentle nudge to get going. There we go.
Dit is los, dit is los.
Het begint op zich wel een beetje.
Hey.
There we go. Despite measuring, the connection on here is slightly bigger than the connection that was in the old kitchen. So we either need to replace these taps and have a smaller exit, or we need a little adapter tool to go from a bigger one to a slightly smaller one and then connect the flexible hoses to that. So as usual, it needs yet another run to the DIY store, which is something Gaby will do while I start to build out the frame.
We go our separate ways.
Oh no. It's all part of it. It's alright, maybe.
You're not the one going back.
True.
But yeah, let's do this.
So let's see what we have here. We want it to be at least 90 centimeters high. A little bit more is okay as well. Let's see, this one's exactly 200. And they are exactly the same. So full meter high, maybe too high. Although it could work as well. And then I'll only have to cut once. And that's the other one. I have my legs. Now I need some supports in between as well. Let's first get a couple of legs and put the support in between. And of course everything is in the way and I don't have a proper workbench. But that's the way it is. Let's find a spot where we're not hitting the other screws. Otherwise we are screwed. I'll be here all day. Would have been nice to make some like proper woodworking connections, have it support properly, etc. But not for this temporary kitchen. There we go. Whoa. Is it too high? That is the big question now. It's higher than I originally planned, but it does give me less bending over when doing the dishes. But I can always take a little bit off of the feet. Yep, that's much sturdier. Ideally we had some more in the front as well, but it also gets in the way of stuff. So let's keep it like this. Let's attach the sink to the frame, put it in place, and then we can try and connect it. There. Yep, that's attached. The size was not right. This will help us resize it to the right size. That will attach to the actual tap. See if it all fits. Let's connect these while we can still easily reach it. Then we'll put the sink in place and connect this to the tap. I mean, there is a rubber seal here, so it should be tight enough, actually.
If you actually get it. Yes.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Famous last words.
And if it leaks, it just needs to be a little bit tighter.
Tight.
Lengthwise, this is actually not bad.
Meant to be, totally on purpose.
Absolutely planned this all the way from the start.
Do we need to get another one? Or at least a...
We can actually try and see, because there's a rubber seal. Might already be watertight.
Famous last words.
Yes, definitely. not feeling anything yet.
Ain't feel nothing yet.
They are definitely pointing towards us for no reason.
That turned way too easily.
That's okay. There.
You fixed it.
It actually looks almost half decent for a temporary setup. Of course, at the moment of truth, our microphone decided to stop working. So we have no sound for this clip, so you'll have to do with the voiceover. As we mentioned before, we are not planning and we haven't drilled a hole into the floor for the waste pipe because that hole would not be needed in a short time anymore. So for the time being, we're going to use a jerry can to collect our wastewater, which we can then empty either in the toilet or in another sink. We are using a bendy hose so that we can easily extend it into the jerry can and take it out as well. Gives us a lot of flexibility in this install. And of course, now that we are connecting the waste collector onto the sink, it also allows us to very easily see if the water is properly running as well. We already noticed that the water was a little bit discolored because the final bit of pipe did not have running water for a while. So the water in there was a little bit stagnant. So we'll need to properly flush that out before using this water for things like drinking especially. But it'll easily flush out, especially out of these PVC pipes. So as you can see with the bendy pipe, it all fits nicely together. And for the moment of truth, yes, it does look like the water is running properly, it's draining properly. There doesn't seem to be any water coming out of the waste collector. So it's all good. There was a little bit of air coming out of the pipes first, and it'll continue to sputter for a little bit. And the water, as I mentioned, needs to be flushed through as well. But at least we have running water in the kitchen now, which is really, really good news. That brings to an end our temporary kitchen setup. That is a very big step towards having the final piece of the puzzle to take out the last bits of the kitchen. So we're very happy with this phase now being done, and we are looking forward to continuing the proper kitchen renovation again. As always, thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you again. Bye.
Yay! Want to do a happy dance? Yeah, no, don't. Okay. Sorry I asked. Sorry people. I might take it out, I might leave it in.